Hello everyone, a very good evening to everyone. I hope you all are fine and doing well. So, in the last class, we have done some questions related to BFM. Now, let's see some more questions related to this subject. I hope that every question is now understandable. You can see the question and now you are able to know that what is the calculation required in that particular question. These types of questions will be there in the examination, right? Maybe they will provide options or maybe they will not provide options, so that question become options without question, without option question, right? So let's start with some questions. And in the last class I gave you a homework, and Keith Centony sir gives the answer of that question. Let's see that what is the calculation, actual calculation of that question. And I hope that I am audible, my screen is visible, everything is okay from my side. If you have any doubt, you can ask in the chat box, right? So let's start. Here is the question. Where the balance sheet of SSS Limited contains some particulars. Means some things are given here. Total advances are given, right? Gross NPA is given, that is 15%. Net NPA is given, that is 8%. Capital is given, that is 3,50,000 crore. So from this information, we have to simple solve amount of provision for standard loan advances that is given to the SME sector, right? So let's calculate this question. For this, we have to learn about everything. Whatever is given in the question, we have to consider everything, right? And basically, first one, what we calculate, just calculate the standard advances we have to calculate. And what is the formula of standard advances? Standard advances are equals to total advances, then subtract gross NPAs from here, right? Non-performing assets. Now, first calculate gross NPA, and the percentage is given, that is 15%. So 15% of advances, that is 65,000 crore, which is equals to 9,750 crore. And then I am able to calculate this standard advance, which is equals to 65,000 crore minus this rupees 9,750 crore, which is equals to rupees 2,050 crore. Simple calculation, right? Simple formula and simple calculation is there. Now, as per the RBI norms, provisioning for the standard loans to SME sector is 0.25%. So simple, just calculate the here 0.25% of 55,250 crore. And after calculating this, we got our amount of provision for standard loans that is given to the SME sector. So it is near about rupees 138.125 crore. 138.125 crore. So this is the correct answer of this question. Clear? So basically, here three things we should know. First, that what is the importance of these standard provisions? What are the RBI guidelines? And second thing is formulas. Got it? I hope that it is clear. You can see the full solution, right? Next question. Let's move to the next question. the value of portfolio is given, standard deviation is given. We have to calculate 1 day maximum loss at 99% confidence level. And what is the formula of the value? Z multiply by this standard deviation multiply by the portfolio value. This is the formula of the value, of the value at risk, or we can write in short VAR, right? Z multiply by the standard deviation multiply by portfolio value. So make sure when you are calculating the things by using your calculator, so make sure this thing that you are doing the correct calculation, because sometimes what happens, we are correct, we know the formulas, we have accuracy, everything is okay, but sometimes we did mistakes in the calculation. That becomes problem. That becomes problem, right? So how to solve this question? Simple. In this question is having the value of portfolio, standard deviation. We just calculating the 1 day maximum loss here at 99% confidence level. So here is the answer basically. Z is the Z score, right? And for 99%, Z is equals to 2.33. Standard deviation is given, which we can write it as 0.02 also. Portfolio value is also given. So value at risk at 99% is 2.33. That is what? Z value, multiply it by 0.02, then multiply it by 2 lakh, which is equals to here 9320. So according to the question, this is the answer. 9320 is the correct answer here. Got it? Simple, easy. Calculations are easy and formula is easy. But we should know the formula. That is the main thing. We must know the formula. We know about the knowledge of these z squares, z's value, which are very basic. You know, these things are very normal. They will ask about 99% z value or 95%. That's it. Clear this question? Now, one of the important topic in our first chapter, very first chapter of module A, international banking, where we learn about the exchange rates, where we can exchange any currency to another currency with the given rates. Same in this question. The question is asking US dollar INR is given, that is the bid rate, which is also called buying rate, that is the selling rate, which is usually we can say is the ask rate or offer rate, correct? So now US dollar INR is given, British pound US dollar is given. Now we have to find out the British dollar, British pound INR rate. So how can we calculate this? Very simple. With very simple formula we can calculate it. How? See, first we now know that what is bid rate, what is ask rate, what is bid rate, what is ask rate in both of the conditions. So for bid, we are using bid multiply by bid, which gives us minimum INR. Minimum INR, and we are using for ask multiply by ask. So British pound INR bid is simple here, 1.2100 multiplied by 68.10, which is equals to 82.401. And for British pound INR ask rate is 1.2110 multiply by 68.11. This rate. So we got here 82.48621. So we can say that ask rate, the bank pays to buy the British pound, which is the higher rate, and basically whatever the bank charges for selling, that is called the ask rate. Okay, got it? How to get the answer in this? Bid is multiplied by bid and ask is multiplied with the ask rate. Clear? Got it? Clear this question? How to solve this question? British pound INR rate. This is the actual way to calculate these types of questions, and you will see these questions in your examination, because very high chance are there this type of questions will be there, because these are very important in the chapter 1. Let's move to the next question. There is a customer which needs to retire an import bill of British pound 2 lakh with a TT margin of 0.30%. Given exchange rates are British pound and US dollar, and US dollar INR is given. So what would be the rate for the customer to effect the import payment? So question is there in front of us. First, let's know that how to calculate these types of questions, right? So see, first let's understand the scenario. Customer is buying here British pound to make an import payment. Then bank will sell British pound to the customer. So obviously bank will using the British pound INR ask rate, and telegraph transfer margin is given of 0.30%, which is added to the rate. So simple, we have to calculate here British pound US dollar, and we have to use the ask rate. Why? Because bank pays to buy the British pound, so higher rate is there. So how can we calculate these things? Basically simple. Here for this calculation, British pound US dollar, that is equals to 1.2275 is to 1.2285. Use the ask rate here, and in the case of US dollar INR rate, here 70.25 and 70.35 is given. So use the ask rate here. So British pound INR rate is 1.2285 multiplied by 70.35, which is equals to 86.8475. Now add the TT margin, that is given here 0.30%. So for this 86.35, 8475, add multiply with margin, that is 0.003. So when we solve it, here we got 86.18661,755. Now, according to the question, we have to pay our import bill of this amount. So, simple. Multiply this amount with British pound amount, which is equals to 17,323,520. That is the rate for the customer to effect the import payment. Clear? So first, in this question, in these types of question, just consider the ask rate, then add the TT margin, and whatever the amount is given, multiply that TT margin with that amount. So this is the correct answer here. This is the correct procedure to calculate the answer for these types of questions. Clear? Okay. Now we can move to the next question, and from today I will give you one homework questions daily, so that will help you out. Okay. Next question. The retirement of an import bill of British pound 1,50,000 needs to be done by TT margin of 0.25%. This question is same, and I am giving you this question as your homework. I need answer from everyone in the comment box. Right? I can give you the hint that how can you solve this question. First, you have to understand the situation. See, import payment is in the British pound. So customer is buying here British pound. Bank is selling British pound, which is using here the ask rate. Right? TT margin is given, so you can add this to the whatever you compute the amount of British pound and INR, you have to add the margin of 0.25%. Exchange rates are given. You have to calculate here British pound INR rate. Then you have to add the margin of 0.25%. Whatever the answer is there, you have to multiply it by the customer rate. Then you got your answer. Got it? After adding the TT margin, you got your customer rate. So you can add the amount, you can multiply the amount basically to find the total amount payable in the INR. Clear? Next question, easy question, and these types of questions are also there in the examination. That daily volatility of stock is 3%. So what is its weekly 7 working days volatility? If in the exam these 7 days are not given, so we have to assume now, because we know that is the universal truth that in week there are 7 days. So simple, we know that what is the formula of daily volatility? That is basically we have to calculate the weekly volatility. So weekly volatility is equals to daily volatility multiply by under root of number of days. So daily volatility is 3%, that is 0.03 is multiply by root 7. So this 3%, when you do the 3%, you will get this 0.03, then multiply it by root 7. With the use of calculator, you can find the root value here, that is 2.6458. Then it is equals to 0.07937, which is, when you convert this uh, figures in the percentage, you will get 7.9%. For this, just multiply it by 100. So you will get the answer, which is 7.9%. Clear? Okay, next question. Here the information is given and the net interest income they are asking. Just calculate the net interest income. There is a bank which is having average loan portfolio of amount rupees 800 crore. And average interest on loans will be assumed as 6% for the purpose of simplicity. The customer deposit at the bank, average value is 300 crore. Applicable interest rate was 5%. So how to calculate these type of questions? Very simple. We know the formula. NII is basically is equals to whatever the interest earned on loans minus interest paid on deposits. So first calculate the interest earned on loans, which is 800, and 6% of 800 is 48 crore. And interest paid on deposits, that is 300 multiply 5%, which is equals to rupees 15 crore. So apply the things in the formula. 48 crore minus 15 crore, 33 crore is the answer. Rupees 33 crore is the answer. And one more thing, when you are using these things in your examination, basically what happens, they will give you the answer without the that rupee mark, rupee symbol. But you have to use that rupee symbol in your every answer, whatever the appropriate symbol is given related to the that. Basically I want to say that use the proper notations, right? If you are typing, so obviously use the proper notation there. Got it? Now let's move to the next question. Daily information. Daily information is given of day 1, right? Of day 2, day 1, day 2, day 3, day 4. You have to find the volatility of stock of PQR Limited for the past 4 days. Simple. We have to use the formula here. What is the formula? Daily return we have to find here, and daily return when we are finding in the percentage, so price whatever is today we have to take it, deduct the price of yesterday, divide it by price of yesterday, and then multiply it by 100. So for day 1 we can't calculate because price of yesterday is not given and is not there, so we have to start with day 2. Day 2, 9 minus 10 divide by 10 multiply by 100. which is equals to minus 10%. For day 3, it is 11 minus 9 divided by 9 multiply by 100, which is equals to 22.22%. For day 4, it is 12 minus 11 divided by 11 multiply by 100, which is equals to 9%. So now here calculate the mean return. And mean, how to calculate mean? Take the sum of all daily returns. So minus 10 plus 2.2, 22.22 plus 9.09 divided by 3, you get here 7.1033%. Right? Now I am writing the leftover things here. You have to calculate the standard deviation. So minus 10, then deduct the amount of mean from it and then do square. So it is equals to 292.52. Again 22.22 minus 7.1033 whole square, which is equals to 228.52. 9.09, because here is that 9.09 is there. This is 9. Then subtract this, you got 3.95. Now what is the sum of them? Add them. It is equals to 524.99. And variance formula is standard deviation divided by number of days, which is equals to 3. So it is 175. Now standard deviation, which is the volatility, do the square root of it. It is equals to 13.23%. So I can say here that volatility of the stock of PQR Limited for the past 4 days is 13.23%. Clear? Understandable? Okay. Now, this formula is important and this is very long question. Now, first you have to find daily return, then mean, then standard deviation, then variance, then you are able to find the volatility. So this is the process: daily return, mean, standard deviation, variance, and then volatility. 5 steps are there. Calculate the CRAR of the bank with the given information here. So let's calculate the CRAR here. And what is the process? Simple. First important thing, we must know about the formula of the CRAR, which is total capital. Total capital means tier 1 and tier 2 included in this. Then we have to divide it by total risk weighted assets and multiply by 100. So tier 1 and tier 2 capital is about 3000 crore. 3000 crore. This is 3000 crore. So 3000 crore. Now 100 crore debentures are there and the weightage of risk is 90%. So calculate the 90% of these 100 crore, which is equals to 90 crore. Then 75% of 250 crore, which is equals to 187.5 crore. And 150 crore no risk weight. So that means 150 crore should be multiplied with by 0% weightage is there, because the loan to government risk weights are 0 here according to the guidelines, because these are the very less risky, no risk is there. So that's why we have to multiply it by 0%. So we got 0 here. Now 3000 crore is divided by, here 100 is there. So divided by 90% plus, 90 crore plus 187.5 crore, which is equals to 277.5 crore. Now when we solve it, here you got near about 1081.08%. Right? So here I can say that this is very extremely high CRAR, which happens in these types of examples only. Because in the real world, in the real banks, CRAR is typically around 12 to 15% only. But this is the example I am giving you, that how to calculate CRAR. So that's why this is very high percentage here, right? This is the real question, not the real question. Okay. Now the duration of the bond of par value of rupees 100 yielding 12% is 3 years. If the yield of the bond rise by 6 basis point, then the change in the price of the bond will be. So let's know about this question. And for this question, I already give you the homework. This one, I need comment from everyone for this question. And this is a unique question. This also your homework. This question is also your homework. So two questions are there in your homework. You have to comment your answers. I'm waiting for your answers. Two questions in your homework. I will discuss these two questions in tomorrow's class. Till then, do the right comment, calculate them, and giving you the overview of the last one question. See, how to calculate this question. Simple. Here, first thing, you have to use the formula of the duration. Price is given, duration is given, change in yield is given, and current bond price is given. So simple, put the values in the formula and then find the price of the bond, decrease or increase. You have to find this thing and the correct numbers you have to comment. So don't forget to calculate these two questions and don't forget to do comment. If you like this video, kindly do give the like and subscribe to the channel for more such type of videos. So thank you so much. Let's meet in our next class, and yes, don't forget about the homework. So thank you. Let's meet in our next class. Till then, take care everyone and have a good day all. Thank you.